everybody, it's Dory. I have been MIA, so I figured I'd come at you as I'm driving. These days are crazy. I have yet to get anything accomplished with my channel for a long time. The kids have been on school vacation, or the COVID vacation, since March 13th. Today is June 3rd, I think. And anyhow, so I figured I don't really have an opportunity at home because I'm watching kids and cooking, and I know all you moms out there and also some dads, I feel like I am literally cooking all day long and cleaning. Cooking and cleaning and cooking and cleaning and cooking and cleaning and snack and this and that and this and snack and I want this and no I want this and dinner. And so anyhow, I am on my way to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods to do a grocery shopping haul, which I may film if I have an opportunity, of course. But yeah, I'm going to be picking up a bunch of stuff, stocking up on things that I don't normally keep in bulk, but because of everything happening, I'm not quite sure if there's going to be bacon that I like to have from Trader Joe's or not. I'm also going to be picking up, I watched Flav City's Bobby Parrish. He did a video recently on jellies and jams and what's the best and what's the worst. And my son eats a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day, and he's on the autism spectrum. And so it really convicted me a lot about the sugar and all the added dyes that are in different things. And so if I can help his diet to improve his autism and things like that, you know, his concentration and all that, then I'm going to. And so at Whole Foods, I actually found a strawberry jelly that is organic, that has very minimal sugar and has very clean ingredients. I think there's 3 or 4 ingredients in the whole bottle. And the first week I hid it from my son. I took out his normal strawberry Schmuckers and I used the new one instead, and then hurried up and hid it in the refrigerator. And by the 5th, 6th day of him eating it, he actually took it out of the refrigerator himself and handed it to me. He sees no difference between this one. There have been other ones in the past that he caught on to right away, but this was not one of them. So I'm going to stock up on that jelly. Whole Foods and Trader Joe's is about a half an hour from me, so it's not something I can just zoom down the street to go to. It's a beautiful drive. There's lots of farms on the way. I live in a part of Western Massachusetts that is known as the 5 College Town, and so there are just so many farms and so many CSAs, and we have a CSA. We went today for the first time, picked up our fresh produce. But in any event, that is why I'm headed to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. What I wanted to talk about though is where I have been, how I am doing, what an update is, all things like that. I feel like I have not come to you guys since, it has to be April. I don't even know. I could go back and look. Maybe it was in May. Maybe I was able to get a video out in May. Maybe I didn't. I'm not sure. But things are great. Things are going well. As far as my weight, I've been fluctuating. There's some things that I'm tweaking in my diet now. I have to get back to the 2 meals a day, no snacking. That I'm working hard to fix, because that I think is the culprit for going up in weight. Let me start with my spiel though. There may be new people here. Welcome, welcome. So my name is Dory. I'm 47 years old, 5'4" tall, and on September 12th of 2016, I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy weight loss surgery with Dr. Darren Tischler in Hartford, Connecticut at Hartford Hospital. My highest weight ever was 350 pounds. My surgery weight was 300.5. My original goal was 160, and I achieved that probably, I want to say a year ago. And then I shot for another goal, which is my ultimate goal of 150 pounds. My whole life, I have always dreamed of being 150 pounds. My lowest I have gotten thus far is 156.3. I wish I could rewind back to that day. But in any event, from being in the house, being emotional, not eating just the 2 meals, and extra snacking, even if they're good snacks, just not good for my body. My body's reacted and put on some weight. And so I had gotten up to 179 not too long ago. I'm now down to 174.4 as of this morning. So the scale is working its way down, and that's what I'm shooting for. So I'm still shooting for the 150. Right now, I just want to get out of the 170s. That's all I'm concentrating on, because being 170 or above, my head, the mind game and the tricks when I see the 1 and the 7 is not good. It's just not good for me. It's not good for my health. I'm not going to mean for this video to be long, but if it gets long, please just know that it's because I haven't been on for a while, and I really want to make sure that I cover everything. The last time I left you guys, March 9th, my niece, who I had been fostering, was taken. I voluntarily had to give her up. It was just not good for my family. It was not good for my health, my well-being. There are previous videos you can go back and look at. She has been in a stable home now for about a month, but I'm hearing from her that she's going back to her mother. I don't think that is true, but for whatever reason, she believes it to be true, and so that's what we're going with. And so I only get to talk to her once in a great while. I was talking to her every day via Instagram Messenger, because she has an Instagram account apparently where she's at, and someone gave her an iPad, and so I was able to talk to her through that, but then they kind of got a little bit more strict and said she could only use it for schoolwork. So in any event, I have not spoke to her for about a week and a half, so I'm not sure if she's where she was, but for all intents and purposes, she was doing well. The last time I spoke to her, she was doing great. The lady is really nice to her. She has only one other foster sibling with her. They go out and do things, and of course, because she had the iPad, she would FaceTime all her friends, so she didn't feel like she was really away from anybody. So that is my niece. Let's see, what have we done recently? Recently, we added a puppy. I'm sure you guys saw on my Instagram. I'll insert a picture at the end of the video, but we actually added a little puppy to the mix. It was a crazy thing. We have lived in an apartment for 10 years, and my landlord would not ever allow us to have a dog. And about a year ago, because we had been there so long, I just said to him, listen, can we get a dog? And he kind of, waited and whatever, and he said that it was fine. And so we've waited this whole time. We just really wanted that perfect dog for our family. And mostly we wanted a dog so my son could grow up being on the spectrum with kind of like a therapy type animal that, he could pet and be there and all that. So the weirdest thing happened. A friend of mine that I went to school with, her husband was on a business trip to Texas, and it was Paris, Texas, and she went there, and she ironically just put up a picture of a puppy on her Facebook page and said, and she lives in the same town I do, and she just said that they were going to add this puppy to her family, and picking out names and all that. And so I contacted her and said, do they have another one, any other available? First I asked her if they had any available and how much they were. And so she said, I don't know if they do. I think they may have a couple left, and they were free to a good home. So I was like, oh gosh. So for the next few hours, as I'm waiting for her to hear back from the friends of theirs, whether there was another dog available, she sent me a couple of pictures, and I had picked out which one I wanted. It ended up not being the one I ended up with, but long story short, we got a wonderful dog, a wonderful fit for our family, and she is the cutest thing. They had originally told me that she was half Chihuahua and half Pit Bull. They didn't tell us anything more than that, and I got tons of pictures. So of course I had about 4 days between them, like 3 to 4 days between them coming back flying home from Texas. The only thing I paid for was I gave them extra money to have the carry-on and whatever other things they had to pay for. I paid $150. And so that was it. I Venmo'd it to her, and she got the puppy. And the home that had the dogs, it was not a good home, and it wasn't something that was really not a good home for dogs. And so we basically rescued them. So she has a girl and I have a girl. As a matter of fact, the whole litter were female. But anyhow, so we decided, we went back and forth on different names, and I know you guys were probably going crazy on Instagram as we're going back and forth and asking people to vote for names and everything. And I'm so sorry, because we intentionally, when we saw her via picture, she looked like her name should be Ginger. And so we named her Ginger, but when we saw her and got to know her personality, she was not like a ginger. And so we renamed her Hazel, because she has these gorgeous hazel green eyes. But then even after that, my son, who I really wanted to have I really wanted him to have this attachment to the dog. I wanted him to be able to say Hazel. And so we would forget what the dog's name was. We'd have to stop for a minute. What is her name? So we decided yesterday that her name is Daisy. And so Daisy is an easy name for my son to say and for all the kids to remember. And that was what I really wanted. So my son loves it. And so her name is Daisy, and she's great. So when I first started prepping for her, I ordered a bunch of things on Amazon, treats and things like this, and a harness and like all this stuff, and you know, all the things that we would need for her. A crate, I got a crate, everything. Well, lo and behold, I had this little dinky tiny extra small harness, and I kept looking at this thing, and it was so small, and I said to my husband, I think I'm gonna have to return this harness and get a small instead of an extra small. Well, when my friend pulled up on Wednesday, actually it's 1 week ago today, and she brought her out of the car, I was in shock. She is like 2 pounds. She's like this tiny thing. So that extra small harness did get returned, not for a small, but for a custom-made teacup Chihuahua, which if you guys are familiar with Chihuahua breeds, teacup is the smallest. Little tiny, I mean, her neck is like, I mean, this big, like literally very small. And she was 10 weeks old. I think she's like 12 or 11 and a half weeks old now. So she's not like newborn, and we didn't take them from the mother early or anything. They were born on March 16th. And so in any event, she is the cutest little thing. She definitely is not a therapy dog. I laugh with my oldest daughter, who's 25, about to have a baby. And we talk about how this therapy dog needs her own therapy dog because she's so small. So that is the newest thing, the newest member to our family. Let's see, what else is going on? Homeschooling. We are in the last 2 weeks of homeschooling. Today's Wednesday. I have Thursday, Friday, and then next week, and we are done with homeschooling. It has been a huge challenge. It has been very, very difficult. But alas, it's at the end, and I don't even know what's going to happen for school next year. Who knows if school's going to start up? Who knows if I'm going to just always homeschool my children? I have no idea. There are so many crazy things in this world. Now, I'm filming this on a time when the whole thing with George Floyd has happened. Our world is broken. Our world is crushed. I am so sad. I don't want to make this video about this whole Black Lives Matter and white privilege and all that, and I could do that. I definitely believe in Black Lives Mattering. I do believe that this has got to stop. It has got to stop, and it should have stopped way back. It's this in 2020 to have this disgusting hatred and racism and bigotry. I'm at a loss for words. I can't even. As I was saying, sorry, my husband called me, of course. But as I was saying, is I am just appalled at where we are as a society. I'm sick. I wish that God would come and take us all home and just end the whole world now. I hurt for people. I see you. If you're watching this and you're Black and you feel so irate and frustrated and sad and crushed and lonely, I want to let you know that I see you. I don't even know. I feel you. I carry that with me. I want to let you guys know that since the George Floyd thing, I mean, there's been, every time there is some act of police brutality, especially when it's used with force on an African American or someone of color, could be anybody, I don't sleep well. I got a brand new Fitbit right here, this Fitbit HR. My daughter gave it to me when she bought, I don't know, some Apple Watch or whatever she got. And she gave it to me, and I've had a Fitbit, but this one monitors your sleep cycles. And ever since this George Floyd thing, I have not slept. I sleep lightly, and then I'll go into deep sleep, and then I'm up. And then I'm awake, and then I'm awake again. And it's horrible. I carry the burden. And you know, the crazy thing is, the perspective I think about is, although I'm carrying the burden, I am not a Black American that has to truly carry the burden. So I can't even fathom, I can't even begin to, I don't want to cry, so I just can't begin to fathom what everyone is feeling who it has directly affected. Because honestly, I have never, ever, ever been affected by racism. To me, obviously, or around me. My family, when I grew up, we grew up in a household that did not know color. There was no color. I had Black friends, I had Indian friends, I have Native American friends, I had, you name it, those were the friends I had. And we never discussed color. I can't even, it's so weird to even think, even in my household now with my children know that there are every color of people, but that we are all level at the foot of the cross of Jesus Christ. All of us. That God made everyone, and that we love each other so much. Never, my child, one of my children, two of them actually, but Isabella, the one who just turned 12, and my daughter Mariah, who is 10, for years have absolutely adored these two women at church. Our church is extremely diverse. We have every color on the beautiful rainbow of humanity that go to church with us. We have about 300 members. I've been there for almost 23 years. And they loved this, both of them, these two women who end up being, they're Black. But they love them. They were drawn to them. They love them. They should touch their skin. You have such beautiful skin. And to this day, they are like, those are their best buds. They go to them. One of them, her name is Miss Gwen. Miss Gwen used to be a kindergarten teacher, and Miss Gwen has candy for the kids, and my kids love it. But they don't know that. They don't know anything from that. When I purchase a doll for my children, I don't purchase a doll that is white with blonde hair like me. Although we have them, I purchase any doll. Any doll. I don't care if she is Asian. I don't care if she or he is Black, Puerto Rican. My husband's Puerto Rican. Like, I don't care. We bring everything into our household. We don't shelter our children from, like, the hurt. We don't tell them about all this because they're young and they're not going to really get it. But anyways, I want to get off that because I really don't want, I know you guys, you came here just for an update on me. I'm so sorry. Okay. So that hurts my heart. Let's see, what else? Yeah, so my 9-year-old son turns, 8-year-old son turns 9 on Tuesday. My 5-year-old daughter turns 6 on Thursday. So we're having little, family, just us, having dinner together. Each of them get to pick a birthday dinner, so that's what they're doing. Nothing else has really been going on. I am, like I said, trying to get back to proper eating. I can definitely abuse keto snacks. I can definitely abuse, good food. That's not bad for me, but I can definitely have too much of it. I got a Keto Mojo meter, so I have been testing my ketones and blood glucose to get my GKI number every day. Sometimes I don't do it because, of course, the strips are expensive, but because I just ordered new ones and they came in today, I just freely do it. But I'll probably be doing it every other day. I usually do it just during the week. I don't really do it on the weekends. But at night, I have been having a glass of wine. I usually buy the Barefoot brand because the Barefoot brand has the least carbs. I get the pink Moscato or regular Moscato or Riesling in the small bottles. There's a little tiny 4-pack, and I drink 2 of those little bottles usually at night when I'm watching TV with my husband. But anyway, so that's that. Let's see, I'm watching Star Wars now. I asked my husband after we watched the last Star Wars if we could watch it from the beginning, so that's what we're doing. What else? The puppy got crate trained last night. She finally slept in her crate all night. We had been going, my husband was on nights, and it was crazy insane because my husband would go to work at like 2 in the afternoon. Maybe he'd leave about 1:30. So I was with the brand new dog last Wednesday, and he was on nights, and I would, trying to get the dog to go outside to the bathroom and potty training, and that's been great. I haven't used puppy pads at all. And so anyhow, trying to get her situated, and then I would fall to sleep on the couch with her because Chihuahuas are very like people dogs, and so this dog really just wanted to be always up against me and me holding it and all that. So I would fall asleep on the couch. My husband would get home from work about 11:45 at night. I would let him take the dog out, and then he would sleep on the couch, and then I'd go up to bed at midnight, sleep till about 6, come up, go downstairs, relieve him, and he would go up and sleep from 6 to 9. And so it was just crazy. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of last week was insane. The weekend came, that was better. And then 2 nights in a row now, we had the dog sleep in her crate from the time that we put the kids to bed about 8:30. And then we were able to sleep upstairs together for the first time in like, oh my gosh, forever. And then, and then got up this morning, like he got up at like 6:30 maybe and took care of the dog, and I was in bed till 7 maybe. But what else? I'm really loving Nicole Burgess's Facebook group and her videos. I have been watching those, and I've been making her bacon wrapped string cheese. So I've learned a couple things. String cheese, most string cheeses have 1 gram carbs. If you get an organic string cheese, it has no carbs. So that's what I've been buying. The bacon that wraps the best is Trader Joe's no nitrate bacon. It has low stats, and it is delicious, and it wraps amazing. I've been eating egg bites every day for maybe about a week and a half. Easiest recipe, I saw it on Flav City, Bobby Parrish, and basically you put a pan of water in the oven. That is to help it to become just like Starbucks and very fluffy. So you put that in the oven, you preheat the oven to 300. In a blender, I use my Vitamix. You put 10 eggs, 2 cups of a good quality shredded cheese. I get the grass-fed, 100% grass-fed organic cheddar, I believe it is, from Trader Joe's, and we shred it ourselves. So 2 cups of cheese, and then about 1 cup of cottage cheese, salt, pepper, that's it. Put it in the Vitamix 30 seconds. Then you take a muffin tin and you spray it really, really, really well. And then you pour the mixture, the egg mixture, into the muffin tins, all the same, try to make it the same amount. Then you pop it in the oven, and it's about 25 to 27 minutes later. pop those babies out, and they are delicious. Now, I do want to say one thing. When you pull them out, you stick a knife in the middle, and they should be just almost solidified, like just solidified. Then you take them out and you put them on the stove and you leave them in there, and the residual cooking just solidifies them exactly how they need to be. Then when you go to eat them, the middle is gonna look kind of like a little bit jelly. That is only the cheese. It's only that delicious cheese that you blended in there. The cheese goes to the middle, but also goes around. But these are like the best egg bites by far ever that I have seen, tasted. I like these better than I do Starbucks. And so, sorry, there's a biker in front of me because this is like that kind of section of town where, yeah, it's like farming town. I'm at Trader Joe's now. Let's see how long the line is all the way around the building. This is crazy with having to stay outside just a little at a time, but hey, the parking lot's not full, so in any event, that is really the update. Everything is going great, except for what's happening in the world, but personally, everything has been fantastic. You know, except, you know, a little bit of weight gain here or there, but other than that, it's going good. So that is it for now, and I will talk to you guys later.